Good evening, everybody. This is Jiminy Jerk, the Soapbox Wizard. This is October 16th, 2012. I'm interested in doing a little bit of a vlog series because it's a lot more fun for me to record these videos than to just spend a whole bunch of time typing out and converting hands. It probably actually takes more time, but again, it is way more fun for me to just sit here and talk rather than type. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to review my progress a little bit, and then I'll go through a couple of hands that I either think I played well or played poorly. And if I get any feedback, that'd be sweet, but if I don't, that's all good. It's fine. It's no problem. I'm just doing this to let myself review. So yeah, if you follow along, that's great. Anyways, I played 41 games today. It's pretty good, you know. That's about the amount that I was figuring I should play per day. Unfortunately for my schedule, October has been a really busy month. There's a lot of family birthdays, there's Thanksgiving, so I ended up missing out on a lot of the days that I wanted to play. I'm pretty far behind my goal, and I understand why. I didn't schedule for it. I should have thought about and really put realistic goals for the amount of days that I would actually be able to play. And yeah, so that's too bad. But yeah, all things considered, things are still going well. I'm facing a pretty serious downswing right now, which is just seeming to bounce back. I was up, nearly 50 buy-ins above EV, which I'm just gonna, yeah, as you can see here, yeah, I was up really high. And that's all come crashing back down over the past couple days, but that's okay. I'm still well above EV, which is wonderful in its own right, but the red line is continuing to move forward, and that's what's really important. I've also gotten 8 pieces of bonus now. That's great, so that's $80 more on top of the 60 that I've won up to date. So yeah, things are speeding along great. Anyways, let's get to the hands. I like to keep these things concise. So first hand, it's just a single table tournament on Game Network. Blind levels 100, 200 obviously. Player 3 open limps from, well, early position. I guess you could call that MP1. It's possible it's a trap. It's also possible that they're just a bad player. Knowing on Game Net and their player pool here, this is almost certainly a bad player. And bad players will, of course, trap with monster hands here, but they have way, way more hands in their range that are just bad limps than they do monsters. So it doesn't really matter. I've got 9 deuce in the big blind. I'm not going to be doing anything silly. It gets folded around to player 1, who calls as well, and I check, of course. I'm not going to shove. Yeah, flop comes with me giving me top pair. First inclination here, what went through my head immediately is I will have the best hand a lot of the time. Not all the time, of course, but quite frequently. If player 1 checks, I'm going to take a stab at it for about a little bit more than half pot. In case there are flush draws out there, I don't want them to get the right odds. So, player 1 checks, I bet. Player 3 calls, and player 1 folds. Now, turn comes a 7. My immediate reaction to the 7, it doesn't complete the flush draw, which I was a little bit worried about. If the flush came, I would have shut down. The 7 does make it so that if he called with a 7, then suddenly I'm losing. But I think there's still, while there's more draws out there now, I mean, they could be sitting there with hands like 10-8. That would not be a stretch of the imagination at all. There's plenty of draws for them to be fiddling around with. So I think, on and off, I think the best move would be to bet again. And if he does call again, I can be quite certain that I'm beat. Of course, if he raises at any point, I'm out of there. So I bet again. Now, I was reviewing this hand earlier, and I'm not sure if 700 is the right size. The original pot was 1300. That's a little bit more than half pot again. Considering it's a really wet board, I might want to bet more. But I think if I bet more, then I'm well, I guess I'm actually committed if he shoves here. So, um, yeah, I don't know. I don't think betting less would be effective. If he does have a draw, then betting much less than half pot is going to give him the odds that I'm afraid of giving him. And, of course, betting more. I think probably the best move, I guess, would have been to just shove, in hindsight. Anyways, he folds. Um, Yay me. Um, I'm not sure if I misplayed that one or not, but I think I think my play was probably a good play. I just don't think it was optimal. Anyways, next hand, King 10, big blind. Um, we get open limper from the small blind. I think this almost certainly going to be a bad player. Almost certainly going to be a trash hand. I don't picture them limping with monsters very often. Um, it might be the case. I'm going to raise over him though, which I do to 175. He calls. Now I feel good about raising because he's going to be behind most. Well, he's going to be behind King 10 a lot of the time. There's not very many hands that I think he would open limp that King 10 is going to be doing poorly against. I mean, there may be King Jack, but even then, I think they would probably raise King Jack as well. So, yeah, I think I'm going to be ahead a lot of the time. Anyways, they call. When they call, I've got position, and I've got a pretty good hand against their range, so I feel okay with it. Oh, I remember this hand now. He min bets, and I don't know what to do here. Min bets, I think they're usually weak. So I probably should have just raised here with my top pair and solid kicker. I don't think I'm behind here. It's possible he's flopped the nuts. The best move I think the best move would be to raise here. There's a lot of cards I don't want to see on the turn. Unfortunately for me, I just call. I don't think that's the right play. The ace comes. I'm not too worried about the ace. I don't think the guy's going to be limping many of them. It's possible. It certainly is possible. But I don't think